Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. We are going to start chapter 32 from the third canto, entitled Entanglement in Fruitive Activities. So, Lord, this is still a part of Kapila Shiksha, which is going on. The Lord Kapila's teachings to his mother Devahuti. So, reading from the text 1. Kapilo Vacha Atha Yograha Medhiyan Dharman Eva Vasanggrahe Kamam Artham Cha Dharman Swan Dogdi Bhuya Pipartitan. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The Personality of God had said, a person who lives in the center of household life derives material benefits by performing religious rituals, and thereby he fulfills his desire for economic development and sense gratification. Again and again, he acts the same way. So what do we do in household life? There are two kinds of householders. One is called Grihamedi, and the other is called the Grihast. So we think, oh, anyone who's married is Grihast. But to be actually called a Grihast, there are certain duties which are there. That's why it's called ashram, Grihast ashram. So the objective of the Grihamedi is sense gratification, and the objective of Grihast is self-realization. So both are married with family, but the desires are different. The intention is different. One is, I'm going to enjoy as much as I can. And another one is, let me and my family members all become Krishna conscious. So Grihamedi is the one who thinks, I have this family, I have this house, it's all for my enjoyment. And another, the Grihast, thinks, I have this family, I have this house, everyone belongs to Krishna. Let me engage it in Krishna's service and revive my Krishna consciousness. Here the Lord is speaking about the Grihamedi, or the person who wants to remain in this material world. His activity is to enjoy material benefits by performing religious rituals for economic development and thereby ultimately satisfy the senses. So, we like to do pious activities. Why do we like to do pious activities? Because we know that when we do pious activities, we'll get good karma. We'll get pious results. And the results of this piety is that we get more opulence. More opulence. And with that opulence, we can enjoy more. That's the reason people like to do pious activities. So do pious activities so that we can have economic development and so that we can enjoy the senses. He does not want anything more. Such a person works very hard throughout his life to become very rich and eat very nicely and drink. By giving some charity for pious activity, he can go to a higher planetary atmosphere in the heavenly planets in his next life. But he does not want to stop the repetition of birth and death and finish with the concomitant miserable factors of material existence. Such a person is called a Grihamedi. So we say, oh, why not do pious activity? Do pious activity, but do pious activities which are related to Krishna. Do spiritual activities. Why? Because when we do just material pious activities, just doing some charity, some going to a place of pilgrimage just to get pious result, or just bathing in a holy river to get pious result, what happens is we actually get the pious result. And what are the pious results? We go to the heavenly planets. Well, what's so bad about going to the heavenly planets? Over there, the life is longer. There are more means to enjoy the senses. There's more enjoyment. Everything is more luxurious. But the thing is, it's still in the material world. It's not going to stop us from taking another birth again in the material world. We're still going to have material bodies. So this kind of a mentality of a householder, a household, like this kind of mentality is grahamedi. Now, who's a grahas? A grahas is a person who lives with family, wife, children, and relatives, but he has no attachment for them. He prefers to live in family life rather than as a mendicant or a sannyasi. But his chief aim is to achieve self realization or to come to the standard of Krishna consciousness. So, this is a grihast. He's also a family man. He has wife, children, relatives, but he has no attachment. He doesn't think all these things are mine. He understands the purpose of human body is to revive our love of God, to achieve self-realization. Here, however, Lord Kapiladev is speaking about the Grahamedis who have made their aim the materialistically prosperous life, which they achieve by sacrificial ceremonies and by charities and by good work. They are posted in good positions, and since they know that they are using up their assets of pious activities, they again and again perform activities of sense gratification. So this is the Grihamedi. It's like a cycle. What we do some pious activity, we get pious result, we go to the heavenly planets, we can enjoy a lot. But what happens when the results are finished? We have to come back again to the earthly planet, or even go maybe to the hellish planet, or be born as dogs or hogs, depending on the karma. So it's just like a circle going round and round and round. It is said by Prahlad Maharaj, Puna Punas Charvita Charavananam. They prefer to chew the already chewed. Prahlad Maharaj gives this example, chewing the chewed. You have a chewing gum, which has already been chewed so much, there's no juice left in it. But you find it and you again try to chew it. And we think that, oh, we are going to enjoy. And we realize, oh, there is no enjoyment in this. Then again, we want to give it up. Again, we want to chew it. Again, chewing the chewed, thinking some juice I will get out of it, some juice. Again and again, they experience the material pangs, even if they are rich and prosperous, but they do not want to give up this kind of life. So material miseries are there for everyone. It doesn't, like, for example, we had this COVID going on. A COVID virus doesn't say, oh, this is a rich man, so I'm not going to infect this person, I'm going to infect a person who has no money, and I will not, in fact, infect the rich person. No, material miseries are for everyone, irrespective of whether we have wealth or no. So just working for pious activity is like chewing the chewed. Sachapi Bhagavad Dharmat Kama Mudaparan Mukha Yajate Kratubhir Devan Pitrimscha Shraddha Yan Vitaha. Such persons are ever bereft of devotional service due to being too attached to sense gratification. And therefore, although they perform various kinds of sacrifices and take great vows to satisfy the demigods and forefathers, they are not interested in Krishna consciousness, devotional service. So, if we are too attached, thinking that there is nothing beyond this body, so then we don't engage in devotional service. We do not get an opportunity to engage in devotional service. Why? Because we don't want to engage in devotional service. They are not interested. Krishna fulfills our desires. He is the Paramatma in our heart. If we get the desire to really get out of the material world, Krishna makes the arrangements. He's in our heart. In Bhagavad Gita 7.20, it is said that persons who worship demigods have lost their intelligence. Kamestester shrita jnana. Oh, what? How can Krishna say this? But this is what Krishna says. Oh, but I'm being so pious, I'm worshipping demigods, and you're calling me unintelligent? Well, this is what Krishna is saying. Now, why does he say that? Why he's saying unintelligent? Because they are much attracted to sense gratification and therefore they worship the demigods. It is, of course, recommended in the Vedic scriptures that if one wants money, health, or education, then he should worship the various demigods. So we might argue that, well, the Vedas are saying worship demigods. Vedas are saying if you want money, you worship Lakshmi Devi. You want health, you worship Surya Dev. You want knowledge, you worship Saraswati, like that. So why is Krishna calling me unintelligent then? I'm simply following the Vedas. Well, why is he saying that? Now let's see. A materialistic person has manifold demands, and thus they are manifold demigods to satisfy his senses. So we use the demigods as our uh,
Wish
someone to
supplying,
fulfill.
wishes,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
wishes. We
I'm
just
sorry.
use them as a source to supply our wishes, our orders, what we
Yes,
demand.
yes, that's right. That's right. Thank you. Yes, like how a waiter comes. We go to restaurant, we order something menu, and the waiter like that. We think they're like that. I want this, so we go to them. We offer some little bit of garland, a little bit of laddu, and we think, okay, now they should give it to me. Why not giving it to me? So the Gramedis who want to continue a prosperous materialistic way of life generally worship the demigods or the forefathers by offering pinda or respectful oblations. Some cultures worship the forefathers also, the ancestors. In Indians worship ancestors, also the Chinese offering the forefathers. But all this, such persons are bereft of Krishna consciousness and are not interested in devotional service to the Lord. This kind of so called pious and religious man is the result of impersonalism. So, because the person who is worshipping the demigod, he just wants his desires fulfilled. That's it. That's all I'm concerned about. This he's gone. I need to order. I want this. So I go to a particular demigod and he's supposed to fulfill my desire. That's it. I'm not interested in devotional service. I'm not interested to understand. I'm not the soul. I'm sorry. So much material consciousness. I'm not the body. I'm the soul. I'm not interested in God. I don't want to understand who has created. I'm not interested to know God. I just think I'm God. That's it. So this is the impersonalists maintain that the supreme absolute truth has no form and that one can imagine any form he likes for his benefit and worship in that way. So because we say that God is omnipresent. God is omnipresent. So what we think that, oh, because God is omnipresent, then I can imagine any form of God, that there is no God anymore because he's omnipresent. So, how can he be still present in one place? This is what we think. But that's just simply our imagination. The fact is, God is omnipresent, and yet he is also present in Golok Vrindavan. He is just simply enjoying there, having his pastimes. It doesn't mean that because he's omnipresent, he's not there in Golok Vrindavan, in the spiritual world. So therefore, the Grahamedis or materialistic men say that they can worship any form of a demigod as worship of the Supreme Lord. So this is our misconception. We think, oh, I can imagine it's all the same. Doesn't matter. You worship Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, Ganesh, Lakshmi, anyone, everyone you worship doesn't matter. Everyone is God. Then what is the meaning of God if we say everyone is God? God is one supreme person. There is no competition. for God. There is no one equal to him. There is no one greater than him. All others are demigods. All these great personalities, Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, they're all demigods. So, especially amongst the Hindus who are meat eaters, prefer to worship the goddess Kali. Why? Because it is prescribed that one can sacrifice a goat before that goddess. They maintain that whether one worships the goddess Kali or the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu or any demigod, the destination is the same. So the Vedas, they provide, because Vedas is for everyone. So Krishna knows that there are certain class of people who would want to eat meat. So he has given certain rules and regulations for them. If you want to eat meat, so the Vedas, there is one particular section of Vedas which deals with that. You eat meat, it can't be every day at every moment. No, it has to be on a particular day of the month. Then it has to be offered in sacrifice in front of the goddess Kali. Not that we go to the supermarket and buy the meat. No. If someone wants to eat the meat, the animal, he has to personally kill the animal and chant mantras. And what are the mantras? The mantras are like, is that as I am killing you now, you have a right in the future life to kill me. Those are the restrictions. But now in modern society, we have made it like the whole world has become like a slaughterhouse. So, well, and what is our misconception? We think, oh, you worship anyone. You worship anyone. Everyone is God. That's impersonalism. Impersonalism. This is first class rascaldom. And such people are misled, but they prefer this philosophy. We like to know, oh, everyone is God. Why? Because then we can do whatever we like. There's no one person. So it's okay, I can do whatever I like. That's it. It's indirectly saying there is no God. When we say everyone is God, indirectly we are saying there is no God. This is what it's covered atheism. Covered atheism. Bhagavad Gita does not accept such rascaldom. And it is clearly stated that such methods are meant for persons who have lost their intelligence. The same judgment is confirmed here. And the word kama mudha, meaning one who has lost his sense or is infatuated by the lust of attraction for sense gratification, is used. So it's called kama mudha. Kama mudha, lost the intelligence to the lusty desires. God is there. He's present. And then we are saying, oh, everyone is God. There is no God. Imagine, for example, there are two brothers, and one brother tells the other brother, you know what? There's no father. You, me, everyone is our father. So this is giving the wrong information to the brother. Instead of saying, hey, you know what? We have a loving father. He loves you very much, and you should also love him back. Instead of saying that, this guy misleads him. Oh, there's no father. You are the father. I'm the father. Everyone is the father. Then that is um, stopping the opportunity for to have a loving relationship with the Father, stopping the opportunity to know the truth. So we should ourselves understand the truth and tell others about it. Kama Mudas are bereft of Krishna consciousness and devotional service and are infatuated by a strong desire for sense gratification. So why do we do that? Why? Because we want to enjoy our senses. When we say there's no God, then we feel we can do whatever we like. But if we come to the point to accept, oh, there is a God, everything belongs to him, nothing belongs to me, I have to engage it in his service, then we have to clear up our act. We really have to change what we are doing. And to change is very difficult. And we don't want to do that. So it's easier to say, there's no God, everyone's God. so that we feel we are not held accountable. But we cannot cheat Krishna. We cannot, we can, sometimes with the material court, we can get away, but we cannot get away in the court of Krishna. The worshippers of demigods are condemned both in Bhagavad Gita and in Srimad Bhagavatam. Any questions or comments?
No.
Any realizations?
It is just that I thought that, as you mentioned, that the Kali, the Durga Devi, was worshipped and they offered the goat. So I think you also mentioned once that that was the reason that Buddhism came, Lord Buddha appeared, because there was a lot of such things happening and he didn't wanted that to carry on because that was wrong in the name of, because they were not doing it in a proper order, maybe.
That's right.
Right?
That's right. That's right. That's right. Exactly. Because people were misusing this part of the Vedas and practically open slaughterhouse everywhere. That's right. So Lord Buddha said, don't follow the Vedas, follow me. Because the society had become so degraded that the Brahmanas were also engaging in animal slaughter. So he said, don't follow the Vedas, follow me. And then that's the reason Shankaracharya came. Shankaracharya came with the philosophy of Advaitavad, the impersonalism. Why? To bring back people's faith back in the Vedas. Although he misinterpreted the Vedas completely, but he brought the faith back in the Vedas, making people understand that, yes, there is a soul, that there is spirit. Everything is not matter. That's Advaita. And so he made a way, made a path, so that when Lord Chaitanya comes to give his philosophy of Achintya Bheda Abheda Tattva, Shuddha Advaita, so that people would be easy to understand. And what is that? Yes, that we are the spirit souls, but we are not the supreme spirit soul. God is the supreme spirit soul. And we have a loving relationship with him. We are his part and parcel. So this is how the whole thing went, in Kali Yuga. This is what has happened. Lord Buddha came to stop the animal slaughter. Then Shankaracharya came. He propounded impersonalism, Advaitavad, just so that people could again get their faith back in the Vedas, and so that people could be readily to accept, okay, yes, not everything is matter, but there is spirit. And then Lord Chaitanya gave the explanation, yes, spirit, but the soul is the Jeevartma and God is Paramatma. So there is a difference between the Jeevartma and Paramatma. Is that okay?
Yes.
Right. So, Tachradaya Kranta Matihi Pitrideva Vrita Puman Gatva Chandra Masam Lokam Soma Papunar Eshyati. Such materialistic persons attracted by sense gratification and devoted to the forefathers and demigods can be elevated to the moon, where they drink an extract of the Soma plant. They again return to this planet. So many of us have this desire, I'm going to go to the heavenly planet. Why? Because I can drink somras over there. I can enjoy more. The moon is considered one of the planets of the heavenly kingdom. One can be promoted to this planet by executing different sacrifices recommended in the Vedic literature, such as pious activities in worshipping the demigods and forefathers with rigidity and vows. So here, now modern scientists, they tell us there's nothing on the moon. But the Vedas tell us moon is a heavenly planet. It's a much more beautiful place than the earth. because it's a higher planet than the Earth. The only if we have done pious activities can go to the moon. And how to go there? Worship the demigods, follow this, do the pious activities. But one cannot remain there for a very long time. Life on the moon is said to last 10,000 years according to the calculation of the demigods. So, but even if we go to the moon planet, we cannot live there forever. Why? Because still have a material body. Moon planet is still in the material world. Although we can live there very long time, 10,000 years of demigods, not human years of 10,000 years. Now, what is demigod's time? Is calculated in such a way that one day, 12 hours, is equal to 6 months on this planet. So our one day, only 12 hours, not 24 hours, is 6 months on the heavenly planet. So our 24 hours is 1 year of the demigods. It is not possible to reach the moon by any material vehicle like a Sputnik, but persons who are attracted by material enjoyment can go to the moon by pious activities. In spite of being promoted to the moon, however, one has to come back to this earth again when the merits of his work and sacrifice are finished. So we may say, oh, but I studied. The astronauts went there. They took a video. There are photographs. They went to the moon. But that's not the moon that they've gone to. The moon is a heavenly planet. The moon is a higher planet, which is much more beautiful. And if man really could go to the moon, they would have gone there already, you know. So, but anyways, even if one goes to the moon, even if goes, can't stay there forever, still have to die, still have to give up the material body and come back to the earthly planet again to make new karma. It's like, we have X amount of money to go on a vacation. So we go enjoy as much as we want. Oh, now money's finished. Okay, I have to go back to my job. I have to start making money again. It's like that. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 9.21. Te tam bhuktva swargalokam vishalam shine punyamartya lokam vishanti. So Krishna is also saying this, that even if you go to moon planet, heavenly planet, once your karma, punya karma is finished, again you come to this Mrityu Lok. The earthly planet is called Mrityu Lok to create new karma. Is that okay? Any comments about the moon landing, or any questions, or any challenges, or anyone disagreeing of what we are reading? No? Then we'll stop here for today. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhaktavrinda ki jai. Hare
Jai.
Krishna.
Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
so much for listening and enjoying it.